Hello and welcome to Beyond Print, Vasion's approach to digital transformation. I'm your host, Sydney Neely for the Channel Company. Digital transformation and automation are game changers for businesses looking to stay competitive and efficient. These tools help companies adapt to changes, simplify their workflows, and stay one step ahead of the competition. Today, I'm joined by Rod Hughes from Vasion to talk about how they are helping companies succeed. Hi, Rod.
Hello, Sydney. Thanks for having me today.
Excited to have you here with us today. Let's get started with our first segment. Segment 1, understanding the intersection of print, security, and automation. Rod, can you start by explaining the importance of security initiatives for MSPs and their customers today?
Absolutely. Security, as you can imagine, is front and center in anything that anyone is doing relating to computing. And about a third of all MSPs surveyed over the last couple of years are actively managing security for their customers. When you think of Vasion and you think of how we got started in print automation, really trying to enable a business more seamlessly able to connect to printers and deploy print drivers and move queues into the cloud, security became the next forefront that we needed to focus on. The reason is, if you think about security from an infrastructure perspective, companies have spent millions upon billions of dollars securing firewalls, securing everything around their network. But the printer is really left as one of the wide open parts of the network. In other words, it's prime to attacks. I think Kaspersky recorded 65,000 attacks over the last several years. And these all come into, the guys and the management of an MSP as a customer simply expects everything to be secure when the MSP is securing the network.
What are some of the constraints MSPs are seeing their customers face when it comes to security?
Yeah, I think it's very similarly the fact that the printer is just an open IP address on a network. And so the constraints are being able to lock it down, but to lock it down in a way that still keeps it easy to be able to be used. So as I mentioned earlier, print drivers and print queues are still abundant on the network. And you want the end user to be able to print without a help desk call, without any need for intervention. So really, it's the balance. It's locking down the device, the MFD, if you will, and at the same time, not causing the surge in help desk or trouble ticket calls to the MSP. So the key is really a blended strategy, allowing users on network to have that ease of use, but off network to still be able to access the printer securely.
Vasion has been in the print space for many years. What does print have to do with security solutions?
Sure. As I mentioned earlier, Vasion started years ago in print. And the original thesis was simply to move print queues to the cloud, which enabled IT to focus on more higher value work as opposed to rebooting print servers. By the same token, making drivers seamlessly deployed, which again makes end users happier as they don't need to open a support desk ticket to get a print driver, to connect to a printer and move on. But as you can imagine, that has evolved. That message has really come down to implementing things like the federal government's standard or FedRAMP around the overall print solution, as well as having secure print solutions like Pull Print be available. So as Vasion has moved through the print automation space, what it's really done is follow the industry trends and continues to lock down the device as tightly as the customer would like.
What are the biggest benefits MSPs can gain from integrating these solutions into their service offerings?
Absolutely. I think if you take a step back and say that we have a turnkey, secure print automation solution, that's great. But we also have completed a business model in which MSPs can participate. In other words, an MSP can do a couple of different sets of thinking here. One, they can avoid help desk tickets coming into them and the cost associated with those, the cost associated with rebooting print servers, the cost associated with managing drivers. And altogether, by using a solution like Vasion Print, like formerly known as Printer Logic. So simply by having this infrastructure in place, an MSP can focus on much more profitable, much more higher value gains as well. It's a turnkey solution. At the end of the day, the vast majority of our customers really set it up and forget about it. It just works. And so that allows the MSP overall to simply be more profitable and have higher customer retention, and at the end of the day, happier customers.
What are some common misconceptions about digital transformation and automation, and what's the reality behind them?
Yeah, sure. I think the most common misconception about digital transformation and automation is those are big, scary words. If you think about digital transformation and kind of everything that's been in the media over the last decade, coupled in with AI and automation and all of that, it gets to be a bit of a word salad as it relates to what can these do for me and what is the cost of implementing them. The largest misconception used to be true, and that's that they were very expensive, unclear ROI. If you look at a lot of the automation solutions that were deployed over the last decade, customers typically implemented a couple of high value workflows, didn't go any further, simply because it was cost prohibitive to continue to go down the value chain of what could be automated. Today, all of this technology is available to anyone that would like it. Really, at Vasion, we try to make this technology ubiquitous and available to anyone who'd like to use it. So digital transformation in its varying degrees, as well as automation, should be simple. It is finally there. It's in the cloud. It's fast and easy to deploy. And it no longer requires anyone to write code. A citizen automator, anyone in an organization who understands the business process can, through the use of a mouse, create a workflow, create an automation, and use it inside of the organization. So really the technology hurdle has been achieved in that it is something that's available to everyone and anyone that would like to use it.
Now that we have a good understanding of digital transformation and automation, let's dive into what Vasion is doing to support businesses in this journey with our second segment. Segment 2, how Vasion's tools drive efficiency and security. Rod, what are some of the main products or services that Vasion offers to help companies not only improve their print processes, but also advance automation and transform digitally?
Yeah, so Vasion has a single platform of technology that it brings to the market in a multi-tenant hosted environment. What that means is everything that we innovate, everything that we develop is available to the end user or to the MSP to deploy on behalf of the end user at the end of the day. That platform, as I mentioned earlier, started with print automation. We have a special portal for MSPs that allow them to go in and on behalf of their end users, be able to create printers, create forms, create any automation that they'd like. But beyond that, the most common set of tools are also included in the platform. Things like digital signature, things like forms-based workflows or PDF-based workflows. Anything that you would commonly need to create an automation of a business process is built right in. And again, that comes as part of the standard offering. I've mentioned a little bit earlier that we have a portal for MSPs as well as a billing model and everything built for MSPs so that they can deploy these technologies on behalf of their end user and not have to buy a traditional license and back and forth. It's all put together in a usage model that just makes it so easy to use and deploy that it's become very popular in the MSP community.
How do Vasion's tools make businesses more efficient and productive?
Absolutely. So the key to this one is our core tenet of making the technology available and usable to anyone. What we work really hard to do is keep it very simple to deploy. As I've mentioned earlier, everything is mouse driven with a little bit of keyboard touch, but there's no code. There's no need to know a programming language of any kind. It truly is drag and drop. to create any of the automations or any of the workflows behind the automations, whether it be an approval cycle, whether it be whatever you can imagine. It's all really done with the simplest of tools, allowing anyone in the organization to build out an automation for their customer or the customer to do it themselves.
What makes your solutions stand out from the competition? What sets Vasion apart?
Yeah, this one is a little bit of a conversation piece. As I've mentioned earlier, we are the largest multi-tenant SaaS provider of print management in the market. And that quickly gets followed with, we're also the largest print provider in the market. The adoption of cloud-based technologies has really taken off since the pandemic. Things were moving along fine. And then when COVID hit, it really accelerated the cloud-based technologies due to their ease of deployment, that frictionless onboarding of a customer. When you look at the fact that we continue to add functionality to that platform, it really achieves making a very unique set of offerings in the market today. You'd really need to cobble together different technologies to come up with what we've created, from different vendors, and we have it all together in a one-stop shop.
How do you make sure your tools are user-friendly and easy to integrate with other tools MSPs already use for their customers?
Yeah, another great question. So we spend a lot of time making sure the tools are user-friendly, and by that we really mean end user-friendly. That message of automation available to everyone is really key to everything that we design and build. So our technology team spends an immense amount of work making it intuitive and easy, and again, a no-code platform altogether. When you then couple that with the fact that we have an entire business built for MSPs, built for them to manage their customer base, built for them to be able to deploy and create these automations, it really is the 1-2 punch that allows this to simply be ubiquitous across any company.
We've touched on automation a bit here. Can you expand on how Vasion is growing into that space?
Sure. If you think of Vasion, what you should think about today is that we got started as a little company called Printer Logic and grew into this multi-tenant SaaS platform. From there, we added output management or back office connectivity and print on the same platform, allowing for connectors to third-party, EHR, ERP, et cetera, and being able to ingest the high volume streams that come from there. Today, we've completed the first dose, if you will, of automation into the platform by allowing things like digital signature and e-forms and all of the basics that you would need to automate most business processes. But we're not stopping there. If you think of the world post-COVID, it became a world hyper-automation, according to Gartner. What that really means is we all went out, we bought applications that we needed to power our business, whether that was a UCaaS tool like Zoom so we could do virtual meetings, whether that was a hosted HR system, but whatever it took to bring the tools and the technologies into our company that we needed to get through what became a remote environment very, very quickly, caused an influx of technology that didn't work very well together. Most companies have started to try to integrate these different platforms that they've bought. Some have invested in iPaaS technology to again, make that integration a little better. But at the end of the day, it all presents the same problem. It is work on a company. It's work on employees to try to cobble together the technologies that they've purchased today. So if you think of where Vasion is going, we're moving very quickly into what we call orchestrated automation. And that orchestrated automation is simply the ability to give your end user, your end customer, the power to be able to choose the technologies that they want that are, in essence, pre-integrated, already built together to be integrated through a platform that uses AI of choice and allows you to choose which technologies are best for your company to meet your security needs and to meet overall your automation needs while causing the least amount of coding possible. Our goal is 0, and we'll see how that pans out, but that is clearly the focus of the company today.
The advancements Vasion is making in automation are impressive. Now, in our final segment, let's talk about how businesses can best implement these solutions and learn from those who have already done it successfully. Segment 3: From Theory to Practice: Vasion's Best Practices and Success Stories. Rod, how can companies maximize the benefits of print security and automation using Vasion's offerings?
Yeah, I think this is really a digital transformation journey, if you think about it. The simplest thing to do is really print automation to allow your output devices to seamlessly connect inside of your network or inside of your environment and really have zero administration after they're set up the first time. The goal of the print platform was really to lower IT cost, to lower IT involvement in print. Big checkbox next to that. That is a very successful application set that our customers love today. When you think about beginning your digital transformation journey, that's a really easy one. If you then look at the next step of automating business processes inside of your organization, the technology is there. It's on the same platform. You have the ability to really begin that journey one process at a time. And I think what you'll see is very quickly and very easily, you're able to automate what are very bespoke tasks traditionally, whether they're coming into email or through some type of SMS system in your network, whatever it may be. The ability to have all of your business processes streamlined, the final output of that business process archived correctly so it can be found again. Really, that end-to-end automation is technology that's all over the planet today. We've simply packaged it in one nice, easy spot with an easy-to-use interface that allows anyone to begin that journey as they see fit.
Could you give us a real-world example or two of MSPs that have successfully transformed their customers' operations with Vasion solutions?
Sure. If I were to start with that simplest version, we have one large MSP whom has 50,000 different devices that they manage inside of their MSP portal, as we call it. So there's an example of 50,000 devices that have a cost to deploy. Traditionally, they would send out a technical person to set up the printer, work with the IT team to get it on the network, and then deploy drivers locally in that office. Today, that's all done through the formerly known as Printer Logic solution, now being rebranded into Vasion Print. That solution lowers the cost for the MSP so they can be more competitive in the market, and they have a greater ability to deploy these devices seamlessly and easily across their customer sites. If I pivot to an automation example, we have a large county located in California that had what I would politely call every solution in the market to try to begin their digital transformation journey. They realized very quickly that IT essentially became a bottleneck. IT resources to go in, understand a business process, traditionally write some scripts or some coding around that business process, only to learn that by the time they had gotten it done, either the business process had changed or new requirements came up, and it became not only a bottleneck, but sort of a do loop of forever improving on a business process with presumably an ROI in the beginning, but a very marginal ROI as time progressed. If we use that example and deploying the no-code automation solution that Vasion has, we then have a hybrid. We have, for the most part, citizen automators in working through business process and deploying it, but very often the MSP that supports them is championing that technology, is helping them manage what it is that they're trying to accomplish, and at worst, coaching them through it, at best, actually hands-on and helping them automate the business process. But the key is the velocity of that automation and the scale of that automation is unprecedented in anything I've seen in my 20 years in the market.
Finally, with your 20 years in the market, what advice would you give to companies that are just starting their digital transformation journey?
Yeah, don't be afraid. There are a lot of buzzwords running around in the market today, and this resurgence in artificial intelligence is only convoluting the points that are out there. Most business processes don't require a large amount of technology. They need something that's easy and seamless to integrate, that most users can get their mind around and deploy, such that if they understand their business process, they can automate it. And that's really the key is starting with a solid technology platform that allows you to begin the journey and then can grow with you over time. And I think if you take a look at the Vasion technology and what we have today, you'll find it's well suited to let you begin that journey in a very non-threatening way and expand as time allows.
It's great to hear practical advice and real-world examples. Thank you, Rod, for joining me.
Thank you, Sydney.
If you would like to learn more about Vasion, visit the website on your screen. For the channel company, I'm Sydney Neely. Thanks for watching.